assume these bases are for Age of Sigmar, but I need these wolves, these dire wolves, I need them to be for Old World. So we are going to remove them. Let me take you through this process. I know I've done a video where I've done that before. This is a little different because we're putting on square bases, but I bought these used from Troll Trader recently. They came and they were very, very close to what I wanted my original 3 dire wolves were. I just needed to do a couple little highlights, so that's what I did. I highlighted them up so that they basically blend in fairly well, aside from my other ones have green hair, which I'm not going to worry about that, but I think having a pack with varied hairstyles is kind of interesting. Anyway, so using my cheapest nippers, I'm going to go around and cut this model off of the base. Hey, so we're just cutting back in quickly so I can show you something here. Got one of these bases out. I have cut these direwolves off of their rounds now, and you'll notice that I've done so in quite an irregular fashion. That is because nature is never cohesive. So what we're doing is we're hoping to create sort of a natural shape so that it won't stand out as much, that we just trimmed these off and separated them from other bases. So if you're wondering why it's all just kind of a random pattern, that's by design. Just make it so it's going to fit on this base. They're a little bit narrower than the originals, so just trim back enough that you can get them on there and glue them down. One other thing of note is that they all have this little hump here in the middle, and that is going to affect how well it's going to stick onto this new base. You can see it's quite wobbly, so you'll have to go in and remove that with an X-Acto. Be careful of your fingers, of course. So let's do that now. My X-Acto is quite dull, so it's not probably going to do the greatest job. Might take a few passes, but let's go to it here. Again, don't do necessarily as I do, because I've done this a few times. I'm prepared to accept the risk, and I'm actually bracing my hand as a lever, and I'm taking many passes, being safe. Don't try to take off a lot of material on your first pass. Do it with a few passes, and eventually you'll get there. You can even sand it if you want to be even safer. So the milliput has mostly cured, and I am impatient, so we're going to begin some basing stuff, because for me, a base is just an opportunity to make another little miniature diorama, and I just love that. So in keeping the theme with my army, let's look at some tombstones possibly here. I have some tombstone, this little set. It's like a good terrain decoration piece. So that's kind of cool. So we got to find one. There's not a lot of real estate on the base, but there's a little bit. So maybe some smaller tombstones might fit. This one's a bit smaller. Has some nice detail on it. I can also lay them down on the ground because they could have been knocked over, and that might even be a better way to make them work. There's a couple I can see. This one's pretty neat too. That one's neat. But I kind of like this one the most right now. I might put this one laying down on one of the bases, I think.